Good evening. It is Friday, November 12th, 2021. And this evening I'd like to look at another one of the parables found in Luke's Gospel, chapter 11, verses 5 to 10. And I'll be reading from the New Living Translation, second edition. Then teaching them more about prayer, he used this story. Suppose you went to a friend's house at midnight, wanting to borrow 3 loaves of bread. You say to him, a friend of mine has just arrived for a visit, and I have nothing for him to eat. And suppose he calls out from his bedroom, don't bother me. The door's locked for the night. My family or I are all in bed. I can't help you. But I tell you this, though he won't do it for friendship's sake, if you keep knocking long enough, he'll get up and give you whatever you need because of your shameless persistence. And so I tell you, keep on asking, and you'll receive what you ask for. Keep on seeking, and you will find. Keep on knocking, and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, everyone who seeks finds, and to everyone who knocks, the door will be opened. Now that's an interesting parable that he told. I live in a rural area. We have a gate around our yard. And if someone goes through our gate and enters our yard and starts knocking at midnight, we're not going to be happy to receive them. We've already gone to bed. And the first question they're going to be hollering out through the door is, who is it? What do you want? And we may or may not ever open the door. I can imagine that if I had somebody hollering, let me borrow some food so I make a sandwich for our friends. I'd be saying, run down to the store and get it. Quit bothering me. But he uses this story to talk about the value of persistence in prayer. He says he won't give it to you for friendship's sake, but if you keep bothering him, sooner or later he'll get up and give it to you just so you'll go away. And that's an interesting perspective on our conversations with God. That our prayers are meant to be persistent. And that maybe sometimes when it looks to us as if the answer is a little bit delayed, that just maybe God is checking on how much persistence we have in the prayer. He says if you keep knocking long enough, he'll get up and give it to you because of your shameless persistence. We're so used to a one and done nature in our society that if we're not careful, we'll lose sight of the idea of being persistent in praying for something or someone every day until God answers. You know, we want God to do stuff when we want him to do things. We don't have much patience. We get frustrated every time the microwave takes too long to heat the water for our instant coffee. Imagine praying for something for not just days, not just weeks, not just months, but praying for years, being consistent and persistent in our praying. Our faith in God is so shallow that if he doesn't respond real quickly, we think, oh, God's not going to answer this one. God's given up on us. God's not going to do anything. And yet Jesus tells a simple story about being persistent. And then he says, keep on asking, and you'll receive what you ask for. What a tremendous promise of the beauty and strength of persistence. He says, keep on seeking, and you will find. Keep on knocking, and the door will be open to you. You know, when I lose something like my car keys or wallet or at the house, It's a lot quicker just to ask my wife where it is, because she'll tell me where she saw it last, and I'll usually find it quicker. But the idea of keeping looking for something until I find it, well, it's got to be important. It's got to be the car keys that I need to get somewhere. It's got to be the wallet that I need to have the identification and money to do the things I need to do. If it's not important, I don't keep looking for it. Cursory glance around and figure it'll turn up sooner or later. And that's the key to prayer. How important is it? Are we willing to keep praying until He answers? Are we willing to keep seeking until we find? Are we willing to keep knocking until someone opens the door? How precious it is to develop the habits of persistence and consistency as we pray. May you pray persistently and consistently this week. God bless you.